Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're here at the site of the future yard office for RailServe on my layout. This is where there'll be a small yard office somewhere in here for the RailServe crew and to store some maintenance equipment. That building, I'm still working on designing it and figuring out where and how that's going to turn out, but in the meantime, I've been working on these service vehicles, and I've showed them off in a few of my other videos, but I've got them far enough along where I could point out a few details and some tips that I'm doing, some parts that I'm using. Both truck beds here on the Riverpoint station model and the Walthers cab. Those are the two ones that I've designed and that I'll have up on Shapeways hopefully sometime in the future. We'll go over the workbench real quick, and I just want to show you guys what I was using for each one and a few tips along the way. We'll start off with the Riverpoint Station F450 here. The bed itself, this is what it looks like when it comes off the printer. Again, I designed this in SketchUp, fairly easy for anyone who's into kind of like a CAD style programming. I figured it out basically just by looking at YouTube videos, how to convert these files. It's very simple to upload on the Shapeways if you don't have your own printer. This style print, it's kind of their high detailed print. Still a little grainy. There is a new style print I want to try. It's a little bit more expensive, but I want to try it on a few more kind of delicate or highly detailed parts that you don't have to do as much prep work. But it's a pretty easy or pretty simple design. I do need to adjust these frame rails slightly, make them a little bit wider so it fits on the existing frame rails a little easier. But yeah, that's it for that. I added some brass diamond plate. This is from Plano Models, I believe. Plano. They offer a variety of detail parts, mostly for vehicles, but this diamond plate turned out pretty nice. I wasn't sure how it would look, but with a fine paint, you could still see the diamond plate up close. So it came out pretty nice. The lights, I'm using light decals from Circus City Decals right here. These are great, variety of different sizes, circle or oval. And I've seen on this style truck bed, I've seen these style lighting, so I went with that. Got my little RailServe logo on the side, and I had some extra parts laying around, so I just threw that railroad crossing sign in the back just for fun. But for the trailer, this little fuel trailer is a really nice little kit. I mean, basically comes complete. The only thing I did was you just have to glue the tongue on, and I added this little wire here. This is just fine wire I had left over from a decoder install for a hose. For the striping, again, I just use, I believe it's A-Line that makes the stripes. There's a variety of them online you could buy, but just those little things add a lot of detail, and it completely changes the look of the model when you start adding little details like that. I added some eye hooks here for some straps or chains. These are just left over from a kit. Those are just hooks from a locomotive that go on the top of those lift rings. I'm gonna make a few, like I said, just a little bit of adjustment on this, and then I'll have it up on Shapeways again on that video that I'll post sometime in the future whenever I get all these prints sorted out. And this print, for reference, it was only, I think they charged me $7.50 to print it, which isn't bad. It all depends on how much you're into trucks or vehicles. it kind of adds a unique look to those Riverpoint station models. All right, for the GMC service truck, again, this is a Walthers GMC cab. In reality, I think any one of their cabs would work with this bed. Again, the chassis, you do need to add or do a little bit of modification to the chassis, which you can see underneath. I had to cut and kind of channel it a little bit, and then re-glue it to center the wheels. But it's really not that hard. I took off the original wheels and added these A-line 2-hole style wheels, is what they're called on their packaging. But their wheels are really nice. They're kind of rubber tires, and this style wheel I've seen a lot on these service trucks, so I just decided to change them out. Again, this one does have the diamond plate. I just weathered it a little bit because I figured you probably wouldn't see a shiny white floor on a service truck with all the grease and everything. But the diamond plate is there. It looks pretty good up close. So just a little touch. Again, it's not necessary, but I just wanted to give it a try to see if it would even turn out, which it did, and it wasn't that hard to do. The lights, again, these are the stickers or decals from Circuit City Decals, and the clear ones here are Lone Star models. They have their lights for their trailers, and I really like them. Really tiny, kind of a pain to put on there. I kind of paint them a little darker. I find that they're a little bit dull in appearance. If you put them right on a model, they're kind of almost too clear. So I use the Tamiya clear paints and just kind of darken them up a little bit. These two parts here, this tank and the welder, I actually had left over from another kit I purchased a while ago, and I completely forgot that I had them. But those are 3D printed, and I'll try to find a link in the description. I'll put it if I can find it, of where I found those on Shapeways. I did not design those. Someone else did, and they came out pretty nice once I painted them. The little crane here, that's a Riverpoint station accessory that I picked up, as well as the beacon. It's part of their light package you could order. Antennas, just with some fine brass wire, and I think I added a couple MV lenses in the back there for some lighting. But that's about it for this one. This one's a little bit more difficult to put on a chassis just because you have to cut the chassis and kind of move it around a little bit. But in the end, I think it turned out pretty nice. All right, that's all I got for today. Getting a lot of stuff done with the obvious current world events going on. Got a lot of free time, so I'm finishing a lot of these smaller projects that I just never got around to completing. And let me know what you guys think about these trucks. Just something unique you could add to your layout. Again, I had these decals printed up. Circuit City Decals, they did those for me. Really nice job. I had them out to me right away. As soon as I gave him the idea and what I wanted, they were on their way in just a couple days. So really good folks to work with there. But anyway, I got a lot of other stuff going on. Got a kind of a DCC install back there on a switcher, adding a bunch of lighting and a speaker to that. So maybe I'll post a video on that once that's complete. But until then, thanks for watching.